The second thing we're going to talk about is the motivation of work. Okay, so there's the mindset, which is, obviously a big deal. And then secondly, we have the motivation. The motivation for me, and again, I'm talking to my own career here in the speaking side of things, the training side of things, was it answered the question that is always critical for me, like even with this podcast or anything I do in life, is win or lose, is this the hill I want to fight on? Win or lose. If I was to go out of business, would this be the hill I still want to fight on? Absolutely is the question. And you need to get to that absolutely place. Like, this is the hill I want to fight on. This is the business I want to be in. This is the work I want to do. And this is the hill I want to fight on. And if it's the hill I die on, so be it. And if it's the hill I triumph on, even better. But this is the hill I'm willing to fight on. And so when you think about motivation, the first aspect of it is passion, right? In this context, it's going to be passion, purpose, and payoff. Passion, right? The Greek word paseo means to suffer. And you go, man, where is this guy going with this stuff? But the fact of the matter is, if you don't love something, what are you willing to, you're not willing to suffer anything for him. And you see, the thing is, Henry David Thoreau says, men live quiet lives of desperation. Like, what a painful statement. What a painful statement to go through life, to live a quiet life of desperation. That you're just going through the motions. You come to hate what you do, but you have to do it. You got bills to pay. The worst bumper sticker in the history of mankind. I owe, so off to work I go. The worst. Here's the thing. Have the chops to pursue what you're passionate about. What are you willing to suffer for? What are you willing to put in late nights for? For me and my family, we had nights away from one another, lots of them. I ended up buying a jet. Like, I had my own Learjet for 17 years. I had 3 of them. Not to get on Lifestyles Rich and Famous, and for a company the size of Buffini & Company, probably not a very smart business decision. Except I was willing to suffer, I was willing to travel, I was willing to be in 2 cities on the same day. But what I wasn't willing to do was have my family fall apart because of the work choice I'd make. So I would be in Houston in the morning, and I would do a seminar, and I would be home at 5 o'clock in the evening, have dinner with the family, and then coach 1 or 2 of the kids in a sport. Now, the suffer was I had to get back on the plane and go back to Houston that night, or the first thing the following morning at 6 a.m. And I did that for decades. The fact of the matter is, the work I was doing, the family I was building, the marriage I have, I was willing to take the hits for. It meant that much to me. Larry Bird said, a winner is someone who recognizes God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses these skills to accomplish his goals. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found by playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. That's passion. When it comes to purpose, now our purpose at Buffini & Company is to impact and improve the lives of people. We've expanded it, and it's, impact and improve the lives and livelihoods of people. So we want to impact people's lives, and we want to impact their livelihoods because they're all in business. And so that's what our coaching program is about. The fabulous thing about purpose and the purpose statement is it should always answer the question, how does it serve others? Passion is this the hill I'm willing to fight on? Purpose is how does it serve others? There is no purpose if it doesn't serve others, period. One of the best-selling books in American history is The Purpose-Driven Life. It's the only book I can ever remember where all I can remember about that book is the opening sentence. And that opening sentence was enough to make that book the bestseller it is. The opening line is, it's not about you, period. It's not about you. The Purpose-Driven Life, the opening answer, the opening sentence, it's not about you. Purpose is never about us. Purpose is how does it serve others? And that is a life, and that's a payoff and a payment you receive in your work life that's very, very profound. The Dalai Lama said our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. There's a good thought. Robert Burns said the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And if I was Robert Byrne hooked up with Brian Buffini, it would be the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and that purpose is to serve others. How does it serve others? I'm going to say it. Like I say, one of the greatest experiences I have is Twice a week, when I come into the office, I read my mail and the sorted through emails. And I say the sorted through emails, because I get a lot of emails. So I get a lot of mail, and my staff work through them all and then pre-screen everything. Sometimes there's immediate responses required, but just the mail and the emails. And I read everything. I've read every single letter, certainly a personal note, that's ever been written to me. And people say, oh, you probably don't read this, and so on and so forth. If you write me a personal note or a letter, I read it. That's a fact. And because what we do, what Buffco does, what the coaches do and the staff here, how the podcast, how the events impact people, that's the payoff for me. And so it's the fulfillment of that purpose. So it's a very powerful thing. And that is the third aspect. You have the passion, you have the purpose, and then you have the payoff itself. And the payoff can be both in economics, which is absolutely important. Here's the thing. I think your value is reflected in the marketplace. I think the good guys and good gals should win. I think it's great when people who do the right things for the right reasons make the right kind of money. And so there's a payoff in money, and there's also a payoff in more than money. So I want it all. I want the impact. I want the cash. I want the profits. I want the growth. I want the success. I want the service. I want the staff. I want, best place to work in San Diego. It's important to me. It's important to me, not for something as a badge of honor for me, but that the people who work here feel like they're valued and honored and that they're respected, and we invest in them, we pour into them. So there's the passion, there's the purpose, and then there's the payoff. So that's ultimately the motivation. So we've covered mindset, we've covered motivation, and now we're going to cover methodology. Thanks for watching. If you want more tips on how to think, feel, and do better, check out these videos too. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave us a like if you enjoyed the content.